Okay, so you'd like to be a multimillionaire, a beach mansion in Malibu, a yacht in Monaco, and a garage so full of expensive cars that your neighbors believe you've started a dealership. I understand. Dreaming big. However, I would like to know how your bank account is currently doing. Is it more of a I'd rather not check scenario, or is it generating future tycoon energy? Want to know the key to building wealth like a millionaire? The first step is to keep track of every dollar that enters and leaves your bank account. The best method that millionaires employ to handle their money, make wise investments, and reach financial independence will be disclosed in this video. We'll teach you how to take charge of your finances and make them work for you, from creating a budget and saving money to investing and increasing your wealth. Whether you're just starting out or already on your way to financial success, this video is a must-watch for anyone looking to unlock the secrets of the wealthy and start building a brighter financial future. One habit that distinguishes the wealthy elite when it comes to attaining financial success is keeping track of every dollar they spend. Although it may seem like a boring discipline, it is an essential step in accumulating wealth and safeguarding their financial future. Millionaires are busy making wise financial decisions, and it all begins with monitoring their cash flow. But many of us are struggling to make ends meet. Prior to spending money on lottery tickets or the newest cryptocurrency, Pugcoin, let's discuss financial goal setting and budgeting. Consider the budget as the playpen that keeps your money in check. If it were a wild toddler, your money is out there snatching up everything sparkly it can find if you don't have a budget. A solid budget tells you where to put your money, not how much you can spend, because it will flee and join a circus if you don't give it a job. Financial goal setting is now your budget's GPS. Do you want to be financially independent? That's fantastic. But what does it mean to you? Does it entail debt repayment? Have you saved up enough money to quit your work and take a global vacation? Or simply not needing to ask, can you spot me this time? You give oneself a destination when you establish clear objectives. Furthermore, becoming a billionaire is not a factor. Begin with manageable steps. For example, invest 10% of my income or save $5,000 this year before you start naming things after yourself. The nicest thing about having a good budget and goals is that they help you avoid the beginner mistakes many would-be millionaires make. Believe me, nobody becomes wealthy by purchasing items merely to appear wealthy. Therefore, start impressing your savings account rather than trying to dazzle folks at the bar with expensive cocktails. Trying to keep track of our finances may be difficult, particularly when we already have a lot going on in our daily lives. It's simple to become overwhelmed and put things off, promising ourselves that we'll deal with them later. In actuality, though, we never do. We become engrossed in the daily grind, and before we realize it, we have been left wondering where all of our money has gone. Another significant barrier that people encounter when attempting to monitor their finances is ignorance. We can be unsure of how to interpret all the numbers, where to begin, or what resources to employ. It's a mystery that only a few people can unravel, much like attempting to understand a foreign language. Then there is the time problem. Because we all have hectic schedules, it can seem impossible to find the time to sit down and perform some math. Even the most driven of us may feel discouraged and annoyed by this issue. The emotional component of money further complicates matters. For many of us, addressing our financial situation is like to disclosing our darkest secrets. It's a delicate subject that can cause anxiety, fear, and even emotions of humiliation. It might be difficult to accept when we feel that we're not good enough or that we're not doing enough. Therefore, we completely avoid it, burying our heads in the sand and hope that the issue will suddenly go away. However, it won't. In actuality, neglecting our financial situation won't make it go away because it is closely related to our general well-being. Everybody has experienced being trapped in a vicious circle of financial ignorance and feeling as like they are drowning in debt and uncertainty. In any case, there is hope and the dream is true, but there is also a very important fact. You need to be obsessive about your finances and have a spreadsheet obsession. So, how do billionaires manage their spending? For starters, They are not frightened to become technologically sophisticated. They utilize budgeting tools like Mint, Personal Capital, and YNAB to keep track of their cash flow. These tools are intended to make tracking simple, even enjoyable, and are available to everyone with a smartphone. Millionaires also swear by spreadsheets. They are not afraid to get their hands dirty with figures, to evaluate each and every transaction, and to make any improvements. It's a difficult level of discipline to find, but it is what distinguishes them from the competition. Financial tracking software and tools like GPS on a road trip can take you to your goal without getting lost. Don't be afraid to become an Excel guru. Think about it. How can you save for that dream mansion or TED Talk worthy millionaire status if you have no idea where your money is going? Spoiler alert, it's off to Starbucks, internet shopping, and that free trial membership you forgot to cancel. $12.99 a month? Who knew monthly guilt could cost so much? One of the most shocking things I've learned from interacting with billionaires is that they don't just manage their spending. They track every single dollar that enters and leaves their accounts. They understand exactly how much they earn, how much they spend, and how much they save. It's an unparalleled amount of clarity, and it offers them the ability to make sound financial decisions. They're not guessing, and they're not wishing for the best. They understand, and this knowledge gives them the courage to take control of their financial lives. The key understanding that has changed the way I think about money is this. Tracking every dollar is not about restricting myself of things I want. It is about living deliberate. It is about being conscious of every transaction and ensuring that it is consistent with my values and aims. When I manage my expenditures, I am doing more than just keeping track of my money. I am also taking charge of my life. I'm making deliberate judgments about how I want to deploy my resources, and this is a game changer. Secret 1. Separate accounts for different purposes. You need separate buckets. I'm talking about using different accounts for different purposes, my friend. And let me explain why. Multimillionaires frequently have many bank accounts and credit cards, each designated for a specific category. For example, one for bills, another for savings, and yet another for discretionary expenditure. Picture this. You go grocery shopping. You're feeling responsible, strolling through the produce aisle, adding some nice kale and organic eggs to your cart. But then, oh no, your eyes wander to the snacks aisle. Boom, suddenly there's a bag of $12 truffle chips, 3 tubs of gourmet ice cream, and overpriced imported cheese in your cart. What happened? You didn't budget for snacks. That's what. Now imagine if your finances were like that cart. Everything jumbled together. Necessities, savings, splurges, all swimming in the same account. How do you know how much is for groceries, how much is for retirement, and how much is for the Vegas trip gone wild fund? You don't. It's chaos. That's why you need separate accounts. Think of them like little armies, each with their own mission. You've got the rent and bills battalion, fully funded and always on duty. The emergency squad, just chilling until your car decides to play dead. And then there's the future rich me fund, slowly but surely growing interest, because yachts aren't cheap. Here's the magic. When your money lives in separate accounts, you're in charge. You're not guessing, you're not overspending, and you're definitely not eating truffle chips when you can't afford kale. Plus, it feels great to watch that dream big account inch closer to your millionaire goals. Every time you move money into it, you're basically giving future you a virtual high five. So don't mix it all into one account, like a poorly planned casserole. Get organized, name those accounts something fun, and start treating your money like it has a purpose. Remember, becoming a millionaire is half math and half mindset. And this, my friend, is Millionaire Math 101. Secret 2, the 50-30-20 rule. 50% for needs, housing, utilities, food, 30% for wants, entertainment, dining, etc. 20% for savings and investments. Now, I've mentioned this rule to you over and over again, but the goal here is to make sure you get it stuck in your mind, because you should always have this rule in your daily routine. This rule helps keep spending in check and ensures you're saving consistently. Again, 50% of your income goes to needs: rent, utilities, groceries, the boring stuff. Basically, it's the mom voice of money. Did you pay your bills yet? Yes, Mom. Now stop hovering. 30% is for wants. This is the fun stuff. Dining out, Netflix subscriptions, or that weekly splurge at Target where you accidentally buy 50 throw pillows. Go nuts, responsibly. 20% goes to savings. This is your golden ticket to future you. And trust me, future you will thank you. That's the version of you rocking designer flip-flops on that financial freedom island. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, how's this supposed to make me a multi-millionaire? I need investment advice, not budgeting hacks. But here's the catch. This isn't just about allocating your money. It's about building discipline. You have to have discipline to be a multi-millionaire long term. Secret 3. Track small expenses. Millionaires are detail-oriented, tracking even minor purchases. A latte here, a meal there. These small amounts can add up. So keeping track helps find possibilities for savings. Think of it this way. Every dollar you save now is like hiring a little worker for your financial empire. Let them grow and compound, and soon you've got an empire of latte-fueled billion-dollar minions working for you. But first, you've got to stop treating Starbucks like a second home. Secret 4. Use cash envelopes for discretionary spending. The envelope system is an old-school strategy that many people still use. You set aside a particular amount of money for different categories, such as entertainment, dining, and hobbies. Once the money is gone, no more spending in that category. Here's how it works. You create a budget. You designate your spending categories. Groceries, eating out, that one coffee shop you can't quit. Then you withdraw the exact amount of cash you need for the week. Put that cash into envelopes labeled with your categories. Why envelopes? Because envelopes don't have overdraft protection, people. When the envelope is empty, so is your spending in that category. End of story. But wait, you say, why cash? Isn't this like so 1980s? Exactly. Going old school is the genius of it. Imagine handing over a $20 bill versus swiping your card. As you watch your beloved Andrew Jackson leave your clutches, you feel it. Every dollar is a micro heartbreak, and suddenly that $7 latte feels less like an essential daily treat and more like pure robbery. The magic of cash envelopes is that they smack a boundary on your discretionary spending. You see the money you have left, and guess what? That makes you think twice before impulse buying that glow-in-the-dark popcorn maker or yet another candle that smells like fresh hope. Secret 5. Automate savings and investments. It's your favorite payday. The moment you've been waiting for all week. You check your bank account, feeling like a king or queen of the world. But fast forward 3 days, and you're double checking the price of a $6 coffee like it's a major life decision. What happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. You did not automate your savings and investments. And now your multimillionaire dream is floating away like that extra guac you said yes to. Millionaires focus on paying themselves first. They set up automated transfers to savings or investing accounts immediately after receiving their paycheck. This guarantees that savings and investments are consistent. Secret 6. Review monthly and quarterly. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you start a road trip across the country. You're pumped, you've got snacks, the playlist is fire, but you never check the map. You just keep driving, assuming you're heading west, only to end up in Canada, wondering why everyone's suddenly saying, ah! That's what it's like when you don't review monthly and quarterly on your journey to financial freedom. You might think you're crushing it, but odds are you're in the wrong freaking direction. Now, why monthly and quarterly? You see, monthly reviews are like your quick mini chat with yourself. They let you course correct before things go completely off the rails. For example, oh, I spent $750 on fancy coffee this month? Cool. I'll just ignore that whole savings plan I made, I guess. This is where you realize your wallet has a gaping hole somewhere, and it might be shaped like oat milk cappuccinos. Quarterly reviews, on the other hand, are the big picture moment. It's where you ask, am I actually building wealth, or just buying gadgets on sale and convincing myself it's investing? This is where you look at the broader trends. Are you hitting those income targets? Are your expenses under control? Are you, actually getting closer to those yachts and jet parties? Without these reviews, it's like trying to bake a cake, but never checking the recipe. You're walking around wondering why it tastes like glue and sadness. Regularly monitoring finances is a secret. Millionaires review their budget and expenses monthly, as well as reassess broader financial goals periodically or yearly. This allows businesses to adjust for fluctuations in revenue or unforeseen expenses. Secret 7. Debt management. Millionaires prioritize paying off high-interest debt, such as credit card debt, as early as possible. They frequently monitor payments, balance transfers, and interest rates to cut expenditures. You're sitting on your yacht, sipping sparkling water from a gold-rimmed glass. You know, the fancy kind that screams, "I've made it." The sun is shining, the waves are gentle, and suddenly, ding! A notification pops up on your phone. Your credit card payment is overdue. Minimum amount due, $45, 662. Uh-oh, the yacht suddenly feels smaller, doesn't it? That, my friends, is why you need to manage your debt before you try to become a multimillionaire. Because financial freedom isn't just about yachts and beach houses. It's about running your life, not letting your debt run it for you. Let's start with the basics. Debt is not inherently evil. Sure, it's not your best friend, but it can be a useful tool when managed correctly. Think of it like fire. Use it wisely, and it'll heat your home and cook your food. Treat it irresponsibly, and, well, there goes the kitchen. Now, maybe you're thinking, but I'm working on my multi-million-dollar empire. I'll be rich soon, and this debt will be pocket change. Oh, sweet optimism. The truth is, debt doesn't care how much money you dream of having. It grows faster than bad rumors at a family reunion. And, fun fact, credit card companies are not your supportive relatives. Secret 8. Track net worth. Millionaires keep track of their net worth by calculating their assets, cash, investments, and properties, and liabilities, debts. This helps individuals to view the larger picture and make adjustments to their investing plans or lifestyle as needed. All right, let's get real for a second. Tracking your net worth is like stepping on a scale when you're trying to lose weight. Sure, it's not always fun. Financial fast food and forgotten subscriptions happen. But it's the only way to know if all those hustle hard motivational quotes are actually working. Your net worth isn't just a number. It's the ultimate scoreboard in the game of financial freedom. And who wouldn't want to win that game? Think about it. If you spend your life just working hard, saving some, and then spending more, it's like running on a treadmill and wondering why you haven't reached Cancun. Tracking your net worth shows you if your money is actually growing or if it's evaporating on spontaneous Amazon purchases. It's the cheat sheet that tells you if you're moving forward or just kidding yourself. Secret 9. Live below your means. Live below your means. We've mentioned this several times, but keep this in mind no matter what you do throughout your journey. Millionaires frequently live well below their income levels. They keep track of their spending to ensure they don't overspend and are always saving for long-term goals. They recognize that wealth is more than just money. It is also about reducing spending. Secret 10. Prioritize long-term goals. Millionaires often track expenses, not just for immediate budgeting needs, but with long-term financial goals in mind, like retirement or investing in businesses. They ensure that each financial decision aligns with these bigger wealth-building goals. Picture this. You wake up one day fired up to become a millionaire. You tell yourself, today's the day I turn everything around. You fire up your laptop and bam, there's an ad. Triple your income by flipping goat-shaped NFTs. You don't know what an NFT is or why it's shaped like a goat, but hey, this guy in a Lamborghini swears it's the secret to success. So, you're in. Fast forward a week. You're the proud owner of 17 pixelated goats, and your bank account looks like it went on a juice cleanse. Spoiler alert, those goats, they aren't grazing anywhere near financial freedom. The truth is, trying to get rich overnight is like trying to lose 50 pounds by drinking celery smoothies for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Sure, it feels like you're doing something big until you catch yourself surrounded by empty bottles and a severe craving for tacos. The point is, real progress, whether in fitness or finances, takes long-term commitment. Not crash diets, not get-rich-quick schemes, and definitely not goat-shaped purchases. Real quick, here are the other components to Millionaire's secret to tracking every dollar. Secret 11. Save first, spend later. Secret 12. Track financial goals. Secret 13. Diversify income streams. Secret 14. Use financial advisors or coaches. Secret 15. Tax planning. All right, let's talk about tax planning. Not the sexiest topic, right? But hear me out. If you're dreaming of becoming a multi-millionaire, living your best life, sipping mojitos on a beach, or building your dream business empire, here's a plot twist. Taxes can either be your best friend or your worst enemy. Stay tuned, because if you ignore this, you might end up sipping water instead of mojitos. Tap water. Millionaires are meticulous about tax planning. They track tax deductions, tax-advantaged accounts like IRAs, 401k, HSAs, and capital gains to minimize their tax burden. They might hire tax professionals or use specialized software to optimize their tax situation. Okay, imagine you've cracked the millionaire code. Congrats, money's rolling in and life is looking good. But then, April 15th slaps you in the face like an unexpected X at your favorite coffee shop. You open the envelope and see your tax bill, a number so terrifying it makes horror movies look like bedtime stories. Why? Because Uncle Sam is a patient guy. He doesn't text or call. He waits until you're riding high to knock on your door like, "Hey buddy, remember me? I want my slice of that pie." And trust me, his slice is huge. Without tax planning, you might wind up handing over a chunk of your shiny millions that'll instead fund the world's most expensive paperclips somewhere in DC. So here's the deal. Tax planning isn't about evading taxes. It's about being smart. Think of it like hitting the gym for your finances. You put in the effort now to avoid paying the flabby finances tax later. Business deductions, those are your squats and deadlifts. Tax-deferred accounts like 401ks, that's your cardio. And yes, cardio matters. Then there's the MVP, legal entities. Ever hear of an LLC or an S-Corp? These aren't just fancy letters. They're like superhero suits for your money, protecting it from villains like overtaxation. Here's a kicker most people don't realize. Investing in things like real estate or starting a business brings incredible tax advantages. Depreciation, capital gains strategies, write-offs for expenses. It's like unlocking secret cheat codes in the Millionaire video game. And the beauty? You don't have to do it alone. Hire a good CPA, someone who speaks fluent IRS, so you don't end up saying goodbye to your vacation fund. And let them help you legally navigate the system. Because here's the ultimate truth. Hustling to make your millions is hard enough. Don't hand that money over to the government just because you didn't plan ahead. Embrace tax planning now, and you'll have more cash to invest, reinvest, or, buy that yacht with the tiny helicopter on it. Dreams don't tax themselves, people. So go get that bag and keep more of it. Taxes may be inevitable, but losing millions doesn't have to be. And let's not forget the psychological superpower here, visibility. When you see every dollar in and out, suddenly your money stops being mystical monopoly money and starts becoming a real tool to build your dream life. By tracking every single dollar, millionaires are able to make smart financial decisions that propel them towards financial freedom. They're not stuck in a cycle of debt and uncertainty. They're living the life they want on their own terms. And the best part is, it's not rocket science. Anyone can do it, regardless of their income level or financial knowledge. So what's the takeaway? Tracking every single dollar is not just a habit of the wealthy. It's a habit that can transform your financial life. It's not easy, but it's worth it. By taking control of your cash flow, you'll be able to make informed financial decisions, to live intentionally, and to build the wealth you deserve. So here's your game plan. Start tracking every dollar. Set crystal clear goals. And maybe, just maybe, that private island you've been dreaming about won't be so far-fetched. Budget like your future depends on it, because it does. And hey, when you hit that first million, just remember, I take my yacht in navy blue. Don't forget to share your own budgeting tips in the comments below. If you want to learn more about financial planning and how to build wealth, be sure to check out our other video courses for more insights. Thanks for watching. Until next time.